So the government of India has allowed some of the Chinese companies to come into India and invest. In fact, the government of India has told that all of the bordering countries with India, they are allowed to invest up to 10%. That is up to 10% under automatic route. And this is where the DPIIT, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade of India, will be looking into the various approvals also. So earlier, we did not have this provision. Right now, under automatic route, the land border sharing countries, in the comments you let me know, all of them. But right now, we are talking about China because this is perhaps one of the most significant thing to happen. Right? Because earlier, Chinese companies were not at all allowed to come in India with FDI under automatic route because of various security concerns. Right now, since there are so many conflicts going on and since we have so many ties with China in the recent times, we are trying to liberate some of the investments which are coming from China. Now, before that, we already know that the various policy changes in FDI are very crucial for your prelims examination. Also, when we talk about the FDI is a kind of an investment, foreign direct investment. So here we are trying to have more of the foreign investment coming into India. For example, say we have McDonald's, we have Burger King. So all these are foreign companies which come into India, they buy some land or they rent some land, they rent some offices, they give some jobs to our own employees, that is Indian employees. They produce some goods here itself, they sell in India itself, they have some profit, they leave some profit in India and they take some profit abroad. So this is exactly how a very long-term association with a company and a country is created in FDI. So FDI is actually a long-term commitment. Whereas if you can compare it with foreign institutional investment, it is not a permanent or a long-term one. It is where, if one foreigner is investing less than 10% in a company, right, that is actually known as FII. If a company is actually investing more than 10% in an Indian company, that is known as FDI. Now here you have two PYQs from 2021 and 2020. You let me know what is the answer in the comments below because prelims is approaching and that is why prelims PYQs are too important for us right now. So right now, firstly, when we talk about why this decision was taken place, imagine some data right now. This is a reality that India and China is facing. Most importantly, India is having a trade asymmetry. Why? Because if you see the exports to China versus the imports that we do from China, in 2023-24, 24-25 and also right now which is ongoing financial year, in all of the years we have had trade deficits with China. And that is not a very small one, that is a very big one. $92.3 billion is the recent trade deficit, which is only going to increase because the financial year is not yet concluded, right? So this means that we have very, very high amount of trade deficit. The trade that we do with China in goods, that is quite high. And that is why the government of India is talking that, okay, let the Chinese companies come in India and set up their own manufacturing processes so that they produce goods in India itself, so that we do not have to be dependent on this a lot. Because if you have a lot of trade deficit, that leads to a lot of outflow of dollars from the economy. And if you outflow a lot of dollars from the economy, this leads to a downward pressure on the rupee. That means if the demand for dollar goes up, the demand for rupee decreases. And this leads to rupee depreciation, which is happening at a very rapid level. On the other hand, we also have to understand that we are dependent on China, which is a very bad thing for solar industry, for pharmaceutical industry. So that is why we have to bring in more investments from China, which are actually quite lower. If we talk about the entire amount of FDI in India, China is at 23rd at only 0.32. This is not China's fault. This is actually which we took as decisions in 2020 in the matter of a press note 3, which was released just after the Galwan Valley crisis. Galwan Valley crisis, we all know, during this conflict we actually had very, very low levels of relations with China, during which we actually told that any foreign direct investment from countries sharing a land border with India can only invest via government route. That means if FDI is coming from China, so first FDI should go to the DPIIT, right? The DPIIT should be looking at the proposals. Even if 1% FDI is coming in, it would be screened by the DPIIT, and then only it can be approved or it can be rejected, right? And similarly, that is why if you have seen, China has not been a major source of FDI into India, correct? And that is why already we have to understand that since we have a large amount of deficit, we need to set up more Chinese industries right now. So in the last few years, it is also very curious to understand. The government restricted this FDI from the land border countries with India, but still, 80 FDI proposals we approved as of 2022, right? So you can understand just within 2 years, right, of this kind of COVID pandemic and this Galwan Valley crisis, we approved 80 FDI proposals from China. That means that there are active amount of interest of Chinese investors to invest in India. So let us actually do that. And that is why we have allowed right now that 10%, right, of the investment in an Indian company can be allowed via automatic route if it is coming from any country which is sharing a land border in India, correct? That means that this particular Chinese company, if it is coming and investing 10%, for example, in Tata, right, that means it is not a majority stakeholder. Majority stakeholder means that you have to own around 51% of the company, right, or say 50.01% of the company. That is why you can have a majority voice in that company and the company's decision. So the government of India did not allow that. Government of India told that only up to 10% in any Indian company in some of the sectors you can invest up to 10%, so that you do not become a majority stakeholder, but you can become actually a very major or say a very important stakeholder in that company. Because understand one thing here, guys, despite these restrictions, India-China ties in investments, for example, between Tata Motors, Dixon Technology and so many other companies, if you see, China and their companies are actively investing in the various other sources here. So that is why India has to globally become integrated with the supply chains of electronic vehicles, of solar industry, of pharmaceutical industry. So restricting Chinese investments is not the way forward. We should be gradually lifting this, as what the government of India has done right now. So this is perhaps maybe one of the most major economic current affairs in this particular period, right? Also, when we are talking about import substitution back in 2020, there were many people who are actually telling that, okay, since we have banned China right now from automatic investment in India under FDI, there can be a lot of solar industries and pharmaceutical companies which can come up and give competition to China. But that did not happen, even under Atmanirbhar Bharat, because you understand, guys, that this kind of industries which China has a very big expertise in, this require a lot of time to develop, right? This require a lot of funds, correct? This will not come in a day. That is why we are not yet successful in that one. And we have to get into the global value chain of electronic vehicles and so many other industries. This will also create a lot of jobs in the country because Chinese investment will come up, and that is why a lot of money can come in, factories can be set up, jobs can be generated. And at the end of the day, we are seeing that China has opened the Mansarovar Yatra. China and our own Indian leadership, they are getting close to each other with reference to talks and various other public platforms. So we are seeing a gradual improvement in ties, right? So that is why we are seeing that this can be a very, very potential improvement in the relations between two countries, also economic relations between the countries. But for your prelims, this is a very, very major development, guys. So let us now move on to the next one.